you're new to my channel, at the moment I'm turning this Ford Transit into an urban stealth off-grid camper van, and today I finally decided where I'm going to fit my heater. I've got one of those Chinese heaters. It's a nighttime diesel heater. Now my regular viewers will know it's been a bit of a dilemma fitting this heater to this van, because I wanted to set it up in such a way that it would draw air from the cab into the living space rather than recirculating the same stale air inside the van. And the only way to do that is similar to how I've done it on my camper, and that is to put the heater next to the bulkhead and draw air in like that. The problem with this van is the floor is lower, so I was going to put the heater up on stilts. But a lot of people said no, don't do it, because the exhaust will be inside the van, and if the exhaust leaks then you're going to get exhaust fumes coming into the van. It's not going to be very pleasant. Plus my concern was fire, because the exhaust is inside the van, because the manufacturers recommend you bolt these heaters to the floor and have everything going outside. So that's exactly what I've done. I've cut away the floor, as you can see. Actually, what I'll do, because it's not bolted down yet, so I wanted to show you this first. Hang on, let's just put you there. There you go. So this is the heater, just a standard Chinese diesel heater, 5 kilowatt I do believe. So this is what the floor looks like. I'll come up there like that. There you go, nice angle. Now that's the standard foot plate for the heater, and I've cut a square hole in the bottom of the van, put that in there, and because the van is undulated, there's these ribs in the floor. I've put all mastic around the outside of this, so there's no way any water's going to get in, but just in case any moisture does come in, I don't want it going under the floor. So I've used vapor barrier tape, as you can see, to seal it all off, so that way no vapor is going to get under the floor and cause any issues. Now once the heater's in place, the idea is, and I must say, I've got to say a big thank you to what's his name, Diesel Bushcraft, because he was the first one to suggest this. Other people have suggested it as well, but Diesel Bushcraft, give me his credit, he suggested this first, and that was to simply put the heater where it should be, like so. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll get it in place. Oh, get in there, you sucker. There you go. Sorry about that. Right, so once the heater's in position and it's all bolted down and piped in, what I'm going to do is put a side up here and a lid on across here, basically box it in, so therefore when the heater's running it will draw air in through that hole there, and it will go into the heater, out through the nozzle where it should do. So it's basically going to be boxed in, therefore drawing in air from the cab into the living space, which is exactly what we want it to do. And not only that, it's 100% safe. There's no way any exhaust fumes and they're going to come into the van. So you know, I'm quite pleased with that. Now someone else did suggest running a ducting from the air intake into the cab, but that would have meant having the heater further forward, and there's a chassis rail just about here, so I couldn't do it like that. So that's pretty much the space, the only space it could go if it was going to be bolted to the floor, other than under the bed. So yeah, I'm pleased with that now. I can sleep well at night. I was actually lost a night's sleep over this, believe it or not. So right, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to pipe it up, get all the pipes connected underneath, and then I'll show you what it looks like underneath. So before I get under the van and assemble everything, I thought I'd do a little bit of pre-assembly first. Like, it's always a good idea to assemble components before you fit them. Like, do as much assembling as possible before actually fitting it. I mean, a lot of people would get like the pump, fit it underneath, the fuel filter, hook it up underneath, and then connect all the hoses and everything. So why not just do it all in one unit like this? A real simple time saving idea. And not only that, you end up with less joins as well, because normally people would put the filter right next to the fuel tank, which means you've got an extra join between the filter and the pump. So by doing this, you have less joins in the pipe. Less joins in the pipe equals less chances of getting any leaks. And not only that, the pump itself is supposed to be fitted at a slight angle, around about 45 degrees they recommend. And this is purely to get air out of the system. Sorry, I've got a dry throat. Give me a minute. Oh no, I've run out of water. I'll soldier on, because that's the type of guy I am. Right, so this has to be at an angle, and that is to let air out, and so does the filter, which a lot of people overlook, like I said, and end up with a bubble in the filter. But by doing it all in one piece, there you go, all the air gets purged out of the system. Incidentally, these heaters, they don't come with really good instructions, and like this one, there's no arrows on the pump indicating which way the fuel has to flow. So a rule of thumb is the electrical connector. If you have the electrical connector facing the unit, or in the direction that the unit is, then that's the flow of the fuel goes in that way. So the fuel flows out where the electrical connector is. Just for those people that are searching through the instructions thinking which way does the pump go, it's quite simple. As like I say, a simple rule of thumb is that the electrical connector is facing the way the fuel has to flow. Also, the filter itself, if you look inside the filter, the bowl, the element inside the bowl faces that way, and the actual bowl itself faces towards the tank. So that's my little bit of pre-assembly. So when I get under the van, I'll simply bolt that in place. All I've got to do is connect one pipe there to the heater, one pipe going to the fuel tank. Really simple, saves a lot of time laying on your back struggling underneath. Now if you're wondering what I've done here, some of you might have noticed I've got this wristband on. It's not a fashion statement, it's actually because I've hurt my hand. When I was fitting the heater, and this was 2 days ago by the way, you might have noticed I've actually changed. It's taken me, yeah, this is day 3 of fitting the heater because I've hurt my hand. Now all I was doing was laying under the van, screwing up one of the there's 4 bolts that hold the heater down into the floor. I was simply screwing one of those up, something in my hand popped. I just felt it go ping, like elastic man snapping. It's quite painful, and I think what it is, it all roots back down to an injury I had when I was a child. When I was a young lad, I was running along, my mum shouts out, "Don't run, you'll slip in the snow," and I had a glass bottle in my hand. And sure enough, as she shouted out, "Don't run," I looked back, said, "I'll be alright." Because I looked back, I lost my balance, slipped in the snow, the bottle in my hand, the neck broke and actually went up into my wrist. I don't really remember much about it, I just remember all this blood going everywhere. I think I was only about, I could only been about 7 or 8 years old. So that's what happened, and since then I've had problems with my right hand. Actually, I'll take this off and show you. You can see the scar. So yeah, look at that. There's the scar right across my, it goes right down there and around, right across my wrist. And I actually cut the tendons to my fingers as well, and it was these 2 fingers. And I say ever since then I've had problems. I've even got like a little, what I call a hand belly button. There you go. Who's got a belly button in the middle of the palm of their hand? Me. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. It just slows me down a bit, and this does help support it. Right, so I'm going to crack on now. I'm going to get under the van. Here we have it. Here's the final under the van assembly. The air intake here. That's the air filter there. That's the air intake for the combustion chamber. That simply slides up inside that chassis rail, so it's protected from the road dirt. There's the hole, and there's the cat. Now you can see the hole. I just simply cut a square hole in the floor of the van. I didn't do the drilling of all the little holes. It's easier to do this, and plus, as you can see, it's all sealed with silicone all the way around the edges. It's sealed with silicone from this end, and I've also sealed it up top around the edges with silicone as well. There's the fuel pipe, and the cable for the fuel pump. There's the fuel pump way back down now, up inside that chassis rail. Now at the moment it's at an angle, and it's set at an angle for priming, like I explained earlier. But once the pump has primed, I'll then take it from there and put it up in between those two chassis rails, but it will be level. And the exhaust pipe. Now the exhaust, I've seen online little tailpipes that you can put on the end. They're kind of like little chrome tailpipe that finish them off. So I'm going to see if I can get one of those for it, so it directs the fumes to outside the van. Because at the moment it looks like the fumes could actually come and accumulate under the van. And there's my cat again. And that cup that the cat's drinking out of was actually filled with boiling water. And the boiling water is to help get these connectors on. So if you dip these rubber pipes in boiling water, it softens them up and you can slide these pipes inside there easier. And don't worry, that water's probably really cold by now. Right, I'm going to go back up top side. So there you go, top side. Look at that, lovely. It's all going to be boxed in. And by boxing it in like that, in such a way, with a hole in the bulkhead, and let me just show you, you can't really see it. There you go, see the hole at the back. So the theory is, what it'll do, once it's boxed in, the heater will draw air in through that hole, thus drawing air in from the cab, introducing fresh air into the van all the time the heater is running, rather than recirculating the same stale air. It should cut down on condensation. And in fact it will cut down on condensation because you're introducing fresh air all the time. It's like having a window open. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. At last, finally figured it out, and I achieved what I wanted to achieve, and that was to fit this heater in a similar manner to the heater that's in my van. This is as close as I could get it. In fact, this is probably better than my van, which is good. Yeah, it's evolving into something quite wonderful. So I can't turn it on just yet because I still need to connect up the other end into the fuel tank. I haven't got the connector yet, still waiting for it to be delivered. But once it's been delivered, then I can test it and make sure it works. So that's for another day. So if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. Any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and ask as many questions as you like. I do answer all your questions eventually. And if you are new to my channel, please do hit subscribe, and up there I'll put a link to the rest of this van build. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra for now.